to another gathering of the Gold Key Adventurers Society. Have a seat by the fire as we prepare to help you unlock the secrets of the travel life. From theme park thrills to Purple Mountain's majesty, we want to see it all and do it all, and we want to help you do the same. We all have those bucket list trips, once-in-a-lifetime destinations that we'll get to someday. We're here to help you make your travel dreams a reality. Buy the ticket, take the trip. Where do you want to go?
Come on, now tell me what's on your bucket list. Okay, hey, it's a beautiful day. Okay, hey, it's a beautiful day.
Fire in the hole! Once again, we're making the tough theme park decisions so you don't have to, with another round of Keep It, Fix It, or Burn It to the Ground. But first, travel news, including exciting potential growth at Disneyland, more Disney Cruise Line news and you can shake a ship at, and wrapping up Women's History Month with 2 more legendary ladies of Disney Imagineering. Put on your hard hat and grab the TNT. It's time to hit the trail with the Gold Key Adventure Society! Sometimes, in order to clean a mess, you have to make a bigger mess first. And sometimes, that bigger mess is a giant smoking pile of rubble left behind after the bulldozer does its job. This week, we're cleaning up messes and fixing problems at our favorite theme parks with another game of Keep It, Fix It, or Burn It to the Ground. But first, I was wondering, what theme park element that you think should be burnt to the ground would cause the most controversy with fans when the wrecking ball rolls in?
I'd like to remove the basis of most of the food, especially breakfast quick service style, being revolving around sugar. And all of the pretty cupcakes that taste like crap. Just get rid of them.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But then all the Instagrammers would lose their mind. So
yeah, but it looks like Mickey's pants. Tastes horrible.
It also tastes like Mickey's pants.
There's people who pay extra for that.
Yes, they do. Considerable premium.
Epcot.
Whoa! Just all of Epcot.
Just the whole thing.
Wow.
I kid. But a lot of it.
I got nothing. There's nothing I would want to take down all completely.
Chester and Hester's dumpster fire.
Oh, yeah, but that wouldn't be controversial. Everyone would applaud that.
Yeah,
Nobody would notice it.
You'd be lauded as a hero.
Yeah.
I was thinking Space Mountain. Walt Disney Space Mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Not a fan.
I
They could have
gotta go with
replaced
you on
that
that.
with Tron, and I would have been fine with it.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Or just
It hurts too much.
upgrade it to Disneyland's Space Mountain.
That's what I wish they would do is just pull the track and make it Disneyland's version.
Mm-hmm. Instead of adding more brakes so that you go slower so that you don't break the track.
That ride is terrifying. If
There's
you
no
see
way
it.
that ride is safe.
Yeah,
Every time I'm
exactly.
on it, I'm like, we're only going 25 miles an hour, but I'm sure to die here.
Yes. Is it weird that I have that thought every time I climb into that ride just as we're leaving? Like, what if I died on this ride?
This could be it.
Hey, your family would
Like
get
the
free
lamest
trips for
ride.
life. So
That's true.
I think that every time I get on the People Mover. This could be it, you guys.
Oh.
Actually, it could lately since it just is broken constantly and catches on fire.
they could just call it smoke effects. That's what they need to do.
This
You just
road
start
is burning
thinking that
again. Nope, that's the ride.
Just the People Mover. You can start thinking that same thought before every attraction now. That's what I'm going to start. This could be it.
This could be the last thing I ever do.
This could be it. Living with the land could be it.
And then
he went near the squash, honey.
And then when I think that thought, I may decide just to get off the attraction.
Right
Or maybe
there.
you'll enjoy your trip more. You're living like you're dying, and you'll just enjoy every moment.
But then
Is there
I
a
think
song
is
about
Monsters
that?
Inc.
Are you
really-
writing a country song
Yeah.
as we speak?
Yeah.
I just don't want it to be like on my tombstone that he went during Lightning McQueen's racing academy.
Exactly.
Oh, there's
Honestly,
something
is
we
that
can
true?
bring
It just says ka-chow on your tombstone.
For real though, are they still running that thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't know
Why?
why.
Really?
It's filler.
Because they spent money on that animatronic.
Yeah.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Isn't it the same animatronic that dissed your kid at California Adventure, Dan?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Move
It's
away,
very
kid.
similar.
Lightning's done.
This is for adults only. You weren't in line.
Buzz off, Axel Face. Did he just insult me in his own language?
That was Lightning McDick.
Oh.
He manages flows, actually.
I have a feeling I'm going to...
You wouldn't go bragging about that.
Mine wasn't that exciting. I was just going to say any of the big ticket attractions in the front half of Epcot can go.
That's what I was just about to say. Just bulldoze all of Epcot. Leave the ball.
Yep.
Everything else.
How many big ticket attractions are in the front of Epcot?
I stand by it.
I mean the ones that everybody wants to get a fast pass for. So
Soarin',
the two of them, either Soarin' or Test Track, either one of them. Get rid of both of them.
Space.
Yeah, Mission. Well, yeah. I haven't been on that in a while, so it's
Speaking of the front half of Epcot, I discovered something on this last trip since we were talking about the return of those tombstones with everybody's faces on them. When you get up close to them, they're not even on stone anymore. They're cheaply printed onto these like metal sheets that they've then painted.
I'm not even convinced they're metal.
I think
they're
the
not
little
even
plaque used to always be on the
always
stone.
Yeah,
metal.
It was like, but it was like an etched metal. Like this is like a new sort of weirdly printed metal that
They just pulled those files
They
down
scanned
off
them.
some server and
yeah. A couple of them, you could tell they were running out of ink. You know, it was Justin Timberlake's like only half there. He looks like the end of Back to the Future. You know.
Oh.
Well, our show this week is brought to you, just like our show this week. Our show this week is brought to you.
Every week.
I'm doing my best. Our show this week is brought to you by Key to the World Travel. Key to the World Travel is a full-service travel agency specializing in theme parks, cruising, and destinations around the world. Head to www.keytotheworldtravel.com for more details and a no-obligation quote on the vacation of a lifetime. Jess, more crazy news out of Disneyland.
Yeah, some actually like pretty big news. Disneyland has announced a proposed expansion of both theme parks as well as a new sort of shopping, dining, entertainment area that's going to include, at this point, they want it to include hotels, stuff like that. Basically, they're asking the city of Anaheim to approve a multi-year expansion that's going to have new areas for both Disneyland and California Adventure, and then a new shopping area that's sort of catty corner to the resort as it is now. The new lands are going to basically take place in the current parking structures that surround Disneyland Hotel and Paradise Pier. And they said that they want these to include Frozen, Peter Pan, Tangled, Zootopia, Toy Story Land, and possibly Tron like Cycle Run. All of these currently exist in other forms or are about to open in other Disney parks, so it'd be pretty easy for them to bring them over to that area. And the Toy Story parking lot on Harbor Boulevard is going to be turned into a new shopping and dining district, a lot like Disney Springs. The concept art looks very much like Disney Springs. It's got the water features and the buildings and a lot of trees. It looks really nice.
Yeah, it's like a tiny little Disney Springs. That parking lot's not that big, so it's
no, not at all.
This is kind of Disneyland's, hey, if y'all will start working with us, look at what we could do. And think of the money you could make.
Yeah,
Anaheim.
This is their effort to save the city. So
apparently this is a zoning law that was passed in 91 that kept them from moving beyond where they are. They're literally just like stuck there.
Which makes no sense. What was the point of that?
Probably to keep the local businesses that were feeding off of them going.
Yeah.
But now as these businesses are going bankrupt,
thanks, COVID.
I think not only will they be able to expand into their existing footprint like they want to do, which goes like a few acres beyond the Disneyland Hotel and the Paradise Pier that you see in that drawing, but now they can start buying up some bankrupt hotel properties, probably.
And the city of Anaheim has had what are we looking at now? More than a year taste of what it's like to have no Disney.
Zero revenue.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah. No dollars from the Disney Corporation or any of the tourism.
I don't think that we will see much pushback from Anaheim on this. I mean, they're definitely going to want their say, and that's why Disney's being very vague about what this is going to include. But I fully see this happening. So
you think about that fight that they had before COVID over the new hotel that they wanted to put in, and Anaheim stood their ground, and so Disney said, "Well, fine, we're not going to do it." But now the tables have really turned, and I think that they have a lot of leverage.
This idea looks far better than building that hotel blobbed right in the middle of downtown Disney. That was weird. It blocked the Disneyland Hotel. You wouldn't have had your normal views from Disneyland Hotel. I don't know that.
But I guess they were doing that because of that zoning law you mentioned.
Because they couldn't go beyond the other side of the parking lot.
But they needed to keep parking up because of all the annual pass holders and locals that come. So, I mean, this could be, an easy way for them to sort of push back on. I mean, we still don't know what they're going to do about their new annual pass program or what that's going to be. So they'll definitely need parking, but they'll be building that, elsewhere. So
yeah, but I think Jeff's right. There's going to be so many properties that they'll be able to snatch up.
One of the coolest things about this, if you look at these drawings, so they have stuff in front of, on the side of, and behind both Disneyland Hotel and Paradise Pier, which would mean all three of their hotels now would have probably entrances right into the parks.
That's cool.
And amazing views from
views from all angles there.
That's going to be awesome.
So by 2035, we ought to have some.
Yeah.
Boy, that's a little optimistic, don't you think? Considering Pandora took
right
10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
Aren't they still building Pandora?
And I'm sad that a lot of that local, smaller owned businesses are probably not going to be there anymore. But that's just the reality of what's happened after the last year. Most businesses can't go for 18 months with no revenue. And so much of that, all that stuff along Harbor, even some of the stuff on Catella, I think, was all
Catella's
smaller.
got the Alpine and all those little cute hotels over there that can't make it.
Mm-mm. So I'm interested to see what stays and what Disney's going to start buying up as things reopen and we move forward.
Or other large, like who was it that bought there's a couple of hotels on Catella that turned into a Four Seasons or something.
There's
right
that
over there.
luxury hotel going in back there behind Carsland.
Yeah.
That was not even open yet,
they bought
was it?
2 hotels. No, it hadn't opened yet. And then the pandemic hit. So I don't know what is happening.
Lots of stuff had just broken ground and was being worked on both Disneyland and Disney World when all of the world shut down.
I like this. They've got a site too that you can follow along. That's DisneylandForward.com, where you can see they're very vague on purpose. They say things like, if we get the zoning, we could do these kinds of things. Here are examples of They don't ever say, like, here's what we want to do.
But it's very smart because this is getting the public hyped up about it so that when they go, to Anaheim formally, they've got
And they have a mailing list you can sign up for to learn more about it, which also just means we're getting your number to promote to you. But if you look at the drawings, that's definitely Skull Island in the drawings.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And there's apparently there's an area that looks like people are saying there's an area that people are saying is Wakanda because you can see the panther mountain that's glowing blue and all that. So people are starting to pick apart the maps that they put out. So, but as we all know from various lands like Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge and all that, it doesn't mean anything.
Concept art does not necessarily mean anything.
Once Bob Paycheck gets a hold of it, he'll ruin it.
This whole site, though, feels like, Jeff, you said this the other day to me, that it feels like Josh D'Amaro went out there and just took the reins and said, let's do this thing.
It feels like a young, fresh kind of way to market this and get something done.
And getting the public involved in the excitement and look at what we could do. Yeah.
Get the public pushing for it.
Mm-hmm.
And voting for it.
Yes, especially the people who live around there.
Yeah, they need to manage that because I know that DCA, they had a huge pushback from that. There's that residential area right there behind there, and they did not want DCA to go in. So they need to start working now on.
I mean, truthfully, nobody wanted DCA.
Yeah.
Yeah. And DCA, before they broke ground, they had a similar website dedicated to check out what's coming here. So
I'm still holding out hope for Westcott. Westcott forever.
That would have been cooler. I don't know. I like DCA, but
Especially as it is
the original
now.
DCA was awful. Zach, are you frozen or did you just fall asleep?
No, I'm here.
Good.
I looked at the pictures. I told Jess I couldn't make heads or tails of anything, but I just looked at them very briefly.
it's meant to be blobby and abstract, but yeah, there's definitely some stuff where you're like, that looks way too much like something specific.
I like if you go to that DisneylandForward.com and click on project and scroll all the way down, there's a very blocky basic map that just gives you more of a feel for where stuff is, more than the painter of light version
Yes,
of it.
the ethereal, colorful, sort of slightly blurry.
Yeah, the Kincaid look.
Well, it also helps you kind of rein in expectations because it kind of helps you realize what the sizes of the areas that you're talking about are. I mean, they described it as a whole new park, and that's a little bit. It's not quite what you're thinking of when you think of a new park.
Yeah, and some media outlets took that and just ran with it. We're running headlines that Disneyland is announcing a third park. No.
I think what this actually gives them is the ability for each Disneyland and California Adventure to have one, possibly two new themed lands about the size of Star Wars Town, USA.
Which is exciting. All of it is exciting.
Yeah, new hotels. I'm all for new hotels.
Now we just need to open it back up and start generating some revenue to pay for this stuff.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Speaking of things opening back up.
Some things are not really opening back up. So despite calls from CLIA and IATA and a lot of other industry groups putting pressure on the CDC, they announced this week that they are standing firm and they will not roll back any of their framework for conditional sailing order. And they currently have no plans for allowing anyone to start their test sailings.
To do the thing they're requiring that people do.
So yet another cruise line this week, and this one that we're all watching closely, DCL, Disney Cruise Line, decided that, so the Magic is already in the UK right now. They've kind of kept her over there, floating around, doing nothing, not cruising. And they came out with an announcement this week that they're going to have 2, 3, and 4 night sailings out of several UK ports this summer just to get her sailing again.
University of Kentucky.
The United Kingdom.
Oh.
So they're going to be doing some British Isles sailing. The caveat here is that it's only for UK residents. So you have to be a resident of the United Kingdom to get on one of these sailings. But it's kind of something we were expecting to see when Royal Caribbean and Celebrity and some of the other lines started saying, hey, if you're not going to let us sail out of our normal US ports, we're going to find somewhere else to sail this summer. And it will be only United Kingdom residents. And again, they have to be 18 and up. They have to be fully vaccinated. So we expect that they'll have some kind of testing program for children on board, since really right now there's only one approved vaccine that can be used in anyone under the age of 18, and that's the Pfizer shot. And that's only right now 16 and 17-year-olds. So they're all kind of having to make some exceptions to be able to get families back on board. But at least this is some movement for Disney Cruise Line to be getting some revenue this summer.
Some people working.
And getting those cast members working, yeah. So these 2, 3, and 4 night sailings they're not actually going to have any port calls. They'll depart from around the British Isles, but then they're just they call them sailing to nowhere. I also think I saw somewhere where they were calling them staycations. I'd take a staycation on the Disney Magic. Mm-hmm. Why not? So I'm wondering if we're going to see any Disney Cruise Line, any of their other ships making moves. Bahamas. Yes, making moves to sail out of the Caribbean and not stop in the United States to get around that conditional sailing framework. We'll see. November seems like taking kind of it's a very hard line saying that November is when they're going to think about letting these ships sail.
Yeah, what is magical about November?
Exactly.
All Thanksgiving.
I guess, we're still, again, we keep hearing that the vaccination effort in the United States is going very well. I think everyone on this podcast today has had at least one vaccine now, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Woohoo!
My flu vaccine.
And I'm ready to get back on a cruise ship. And
Me
we're looking at
too.
March of next year. I'm like, okay, is that going to be? It's got to be by then,
I
They gotta be
mean,
going.
I would hope so. If we really have widely available vaccines by June,
Yeah.
and Pfizer and Moderna have both started testing in kids younger than 12, and are hoping to have the authorization to vaccinate kids by the fall.
Yeah.
So get kids back in school and get our butts back on a cruise ship. Please.
But what
I
about
need
my
daiquiris.
freedoms?
I need all the daiquiris.
Well, you'll have the freedom to not get on a cruise ship if you don't.
Who
want
let
to
that guy
get a
back in the
vaccine,
studio?
right? Somebody forgot to lock the door.
You know what would have helped with security there if we had some facial recognition tech the way Magic Kingdom's getting ready to roll out, right, Jess?
Yeah. So Magic Kingdom's rolling into some new technology to, I guess, get rid of the touch points, the finger scanners that the family in front of me can never seem to figure out how to use.
No. Which finger did you use, Martha?
Yeah. Do I have to do the finger for him because he did his finger? And then, I'm so done with that. So please scan my face. And yeah, they're testing at Magic Kingdom right now facial recognition scanners, where you can. It's a voluntary test right now, where you can enter and they ask you to remove your hat, sunglasses, and then I'm assuming your facial mask currently. And then you scan your Magic Band or your park admission with a scanner nearby, and camera takes a photo of you and then assigns that to your tickets. And then, assuming that will be used throughout the resort, then every time you go in, they'll just scan your face again as you scan your media, and you won't have to touch
Hopefully it
anything.
works better than the one on my phone.
Yeah, I'm sure that the people that can't work the finger scanners can't figure out, wait, is the camera over here? Is it? No, it's over here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's over here. Nope, over here.
It must
But
work.
what about the freedoms of us faceless people?
Yeah, exactly.
It has to work better than the ones on the phones because I believe that it is doing the facial recognition while they're wearing their face.
Oh, is it doing that?
is.
Okay, I couldn't
It
see.
is.
Yeah, I missed
Yeah,
that. So.
I saw that. I was reading the article, and they have
Wow.
little graphics, and it specifically tells you not to remove your mask.
So I
Which-
guess it's true what they say. It's all in the eyes.
Yeah, but I wonder if once we're done with the mask wearing, if it will capture a new photo.
Yeah.
And
What if you had an
redo
eye
it.
replacement? Would it still work?
Interesting.
What if you only
Thoughts
have
to
one eye?
ponder.
Very, very interesting. But I guess this prevents in the future, if there's another outbreak of germs where they don't want people touching the touch points anymore. Yet
I'm
again.
all for
Well,
it.
between that and then the thing where they just kind of scan you as you keep walking, like they have at Disney Springs now,
Oh
you
yeah.
don't
those-
have to get a bag search. I mean, that really.
well, unless
would-
you're me, because
Yeah,
every
do you
single
still get
time.
searched every
touch-
time?
And then every time the guy's like, "Oh, it's this that set it off," and I'm like, "Yeah, but that's not what they said it was last time." So I don't. Now I just walk through with everything in my hands. I'm like, please.
Yeah.
Don't make
I
me
got
stop.
to use those for the first time a couple weeks ago. I am in love with the new
Mhm.
security screen.
Except he had to wait for me every time.
Except I had to wait for Jets.
What is triggering them, Jess?
Well, it was either my glasses case, so I made sure to take that out. It was the umbrella, so I made sure to take that out.
Oh yeah,
It
they
was
say
my-
umbrellas.
It was
and
my
water
battery
bottles.
pack for my phone. It was the pack of enamel pins I had. It was
Let's be
something
honest,
different
it's
every
your
time.
shifty
His
ass
bong.
look.
Yeah,
It was yeah.
Well,
sir.
maybe if your glasses case wasn't a pistol, you could get through.
Yeah,
That's my belt buckle. Sorry, that's it's also a buck knife.
those are great though.
Yeah.
I always got the extremely thorough security cast member who wanted
The
to
eye
see.
on the thigh check.
Yeah. Who always wanted me to open my wallet and show him whether I had any money in there. What do you think I'm hiding in my wallet?
Yeah.
I used to be so envious of the bag scanners at Universal, but these are light years better.
So much better.
So once they have to stop taking your temperature, I guess it's going to be pretty smooth to get into the park.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then when you're done with the parks, you can head out into some new cool destinations that Disney Cruise Line is hopefully going to be visiting in 2022.
Do they still have a cruise line?
They do. And they just announced the sailings for summer of 2022, and they're going to some very cool places. They have expanded their Greek Isles cruises. They're going to offer 8, 9, and 12 night Greek Isles cruises that go to places like Santorini and Mykonos.
That sounds affordable.
Yeah. So beautiful, though. The Magic really has some great stuff that they're hoping to be doing next year. There's going to be a 7-night tour of Spain, leaving from Barcelona and heading over.
Barcelona.
Yes. Heading over. It ends actually in Dover to start the British Isles tour that hits a bunch of cool spots in Spain, expanding their British Isles tours, of course. And then they're doing some very cool Northern Europe sailings that are going places like Denmark, Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Russia, Sweden. And then the one that caught my eye that I really want to do is a Northern Europe sailing that goes to Norway and then Iceland and Scotland. And it looks fantastic.
That looks good.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Some really neat spots. And then in the Caribbean, nothing yet, no announcement yet of the Disney Wish and where she's going to sail. We are expecting her to sail from Port Canaveral, and we saw in the itineraries that the Dream is going to be shifting down to Miami to make room for the Wish. But they're doing another Southern Caribbean cruise, which they do these every now and then. A couple of them, they're usually pretty long sailings. It takes a long time to take a cruise ship from Florida down into the Southern Caribbean. But this one's going to be going to St. Martin, Dominica, and Antigua, in addition to the Virgin Islands and some of the places that they've done before on their Southern Caribbean cruise. It all looks great. I'm really excited and hoping for a normal summer cruise season next year. Fingers crossed.
That's crazy. We're talking next year. And I hope
Next
that
year,
happens.
yeah. And it's not even
We'll
summer of
see.
2021 yet.
Yeah.
But we're all very optimistic for the 2022 season, and it's all booking up now. The Greek cruises are filling up pretty nicely, as are the British Isles cruises. Everybody's ready to get back to Europe and see some new things.
I know I am.
Absolutely.
Well, that and the good news is by next summer the canal should be open back up. So we can add an itinerary that does a canal crossing.
Hey, they had it move like 5 inches today.
5 inches. Woo!
Did they get the
Better than
bulldozer
I can
back
do.
out?
Whoa. Hey-oh.
I'm in my 40s.
That whole
Hashtag
thing
penis
has
joke.
been hysterical. I cannot stop watching this just ship wedged in there. What the heck?
What even
really-
happened? How does that happen?
Right? Was the captain drunk?
How do you run aground at both ends? Are you sailing sideways?
Say, look what I can do.
Yeah, this thing can go sideways. Oopsie.
Did you know this guy can do a 360?
It's that crazy
In
20-point
the canal,
turns.
you
know.
dimwit.
Somebody thought it was Tony Hawk and was trying for a
Yeah.
Grind the canal.
What just what we needed right now. Another shutdown of shipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you know who to blame when your toilet paper disappears
Yes, it's that
That's
guy
right.
stuck
One
in the canal.
ship in the Suez.
IKEA is already out of like
All
80% of their
shuts
stuff.
again. Yeah. I really enjoy the picture of the tiny little excavator trying to shove.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like one
guy.
guy with a shovel.
Yes, it might as well be a 7-year-old out there with a sand shovel.
It's Four Seasons landscaping out there.
They got a special contract. Jess, I had no idea what this means other than you wanted to talk about some interesting Disney history before.
Yeah, so
Zach does.
when they announced the new version of what possibly is going to be Disney Springs over in Disneyland, it made me start thinking about the original version of Disney Springs at Disney World, also known as Pleasure Island. Do you guys remember the mascot for Pleasure Island?
I
The
do
logo
not.
icon?
The guy that basically looks like Mac Tonight.
The guy that
Oh,
looked basically like
yeah.
Mac Tonight. His name? Anybody?
No.
The
Is that the
Funmeister.
Cheermeister?
The
The
Funmeister.
Cheermeister. Funmeister, yeah.
Fun. Yeah.
Funmeister.
The Funmeister. And of course, because Disney can't just make like some crappy 90s
Disney
logo,
presents a touch
they
of
have
the
to make
Funmeister.
a backstory for him. Yeah. So he was created as the icon in 1989 when they created this area, and served as basically the main logo for the entire time it was open. The Funmeister is meant to embody festivity, the celebration of life, and the sharing of laughter. Not just a Mac Tonight ripoff from McDonald's. But he did look exactly like Mac Tonight, and the two were never seen together. So,
Look at that.
yeah, basically dressed the same too, had a tuxedo on. He had a normal human body and a giant nightmarish crescent moon
Moonhead.
Yeah, that just screamed,
Nothing
festivity
says fun like
and the celebration of
Crescent
life
moon.
and laughter, And so the Funmeister has origins, of course, because it's Disney. And these go back to having been worshipped by barbarian tribes following the collapse of Rome.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, this guy wearing a tuxedo and a moon head was worshipped by barbarians at the fall of Rome.
And this
Wow.
is not even the most insane part of the Pleasure Island
how did he
backstory.
Oh
end
no!
up
Well,
in
so
Florida?
of course that has nothing to do with Florida, right? Except he was also worshipped in Florida by the indigenous Seminole tribe, which is this. That's kind of that's a little problematic today to make that the story, but who lived on the island that would become Pleasure Island in Lake Buena Vista. So while in Mexico in the year 1900, wealthy adventurer Meriwether Adam Pleasure, also the name of my glam rock cover band, who was the founder of Pleasure Island, he began having visions of the Funmeister. Not sure where those came from, but the
Is this
visions
like-
guided him to Pleasure Island, the area, and in 1911 he found a totem of the Funmeister that the Seminole tribe left. And due to that being seen as a representative of the Funmeister, the tribe allowed for Meriwether to purchase and settle on the island, with him coming to hold the moniker of Grand Funmeister.
This sounds like a
Somebody was
ripoff
paid
of the. Yeah,
to
it
do
just sounds
this.
like
Somebody
a
was-
ripoff of the
Oh, I bet
founding
it
of
was-
the Mormon Church.
Yeah.
Joseph Smith found.
And then he
the-
threw all of the people into volcanoes, and Xenu came back. And sorry, that's Scientology. Never
Wait,
mind.
wrong one.
I
Yeah.
think I got to hear
Guys-
the Imagineer that created this story.
Did they use an erector set?
Yeah,
I
director
don't know.
damn near killed her.
There it is.
Do they still have the plaques up on all the buildings that tell this whole backstory?
I
There
never
used to be
really
plaques
looked.
everywhere.
This is bizarre.
Meriwether
I had
and-
no
oh,
idea.
Pleasure.
Oh, and I googled Mac Tonight so I could see what you were talking about.
Oh yeah, that's out of your age range, isn't it? Yeah.
And it's horrifying. At least the Pleasure Island logo is very. It's just like an animated logo. The guy,
Yeah, it's cartoony and
yeah, it's
cute.
cartoony. The Mac
Mac
Tonight,
Tonight was frightening.
And he would sing in commercial. He'd sing like old Frank Sinatra songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. he
It's
was-
Mac tonight.
In Ohio, there was a multi-story McDonald's, and the top floor was Mac Tonight's Lounge, and they had a guy that like performed occasionally,
like dressed like
on
Mac
piano.
Tonight, like cosplaying Mac Tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I really think that's what Disney Springs is missing is the completely superfluous character backstories
That no
are just-
one cared
no one
about.
wants. Yeah.
Sometime we'll have to talk about the time-traveling alien cover band that took up residency at the Roller Disco nightclub there. And
I'm
There
s-
at Disney Springs.
I'm so
Pleasure
sad
Island,
that
yeah.
I missed
Downtown
the
Pleasure
roller
Island.
disco.
Pleasure
Yeah,
Island
as-
was weird.
as crazy as the Funmeister story is, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. There was.
Yeah.
I miss
Yes.
Pleasure Island. I visited a couple times as a kid, and I wished I was old enough to fully enjoy it.
Me too.
Yeah.
It looked just like insane 90s throw up. It was just amazing.
It was. It definitely was.
Well, Zach has another bit of Disney history for us. We're going to finish up our celebration of Women's Month here with a couple of other great women of Walt Disney Imagineering history.
Yeah, so I figured we could round out Women's History Month by talking about a couple of other very distinguished Disney Imagineers. I want to talk about first Harriet Burns, which I mentioned a couple weeks ago. She worked on my favorite attraction, the Carousel of Progress. But this is probably one of the most important women that ever worked for Walt Disney Imagineering, because she was actually the very first woman that ever was an Imagineer. She designed, prototyped, and built Disney theme park attractions for Disneyland and Walt Disney World. She was born in 1928 in San Antonio, Texas. She studied art at Southern Methodist University and the University of New Mexico. But she moved to Los Angeles in the 50s with her husband and daughter. She started working at a company that I've never heard of, probably because it went out of business in the 50s, known as the Dice Display Industries Cooperative Exchange. And what did they...
Sounds like an early Disney company with that name.
Yeah, it does. She designed props for the Colgate Comedy Hour, which I've never heard of.
The Colgate Comedy Hour. Yeah, that was hysterical. I have no idea. I've never heard of it.
That's like Milton Berle or somebody was... His show was part of that. Or that's how all the old TV shows were.
Instead of a bunch of commercials, it was one sponsor.
One sponsor would promote a whole night of programming.
And it was usually cigarettes.
Often.
Brought to you by cancer.
She also worked on various interiors and sets for Las Vegas hotels when she was working for that company. The Dice Display Industries Cooperative the Dice Display Industries Cooperative Exchange went out of business in 1955. And it's important to mention this company because a coworker that she worked with at that company decided to go back to work for Disney and asked Harriet to join them. She was hired to paint sets for the Mickey Mouse Club show and later joined WED Enterprises, which we now know as Walt Disney Imagineering, where she helped work on New Orleans Square, Haunted Mansion, Storybook Land, and she actually worked on designing all of the birds in the Enchanted Tiki Room.
Where the birds sing words?
Yes.
And the flowers croon?
Did she have any hand in the flowers crooning? But
I don't know. Maybe just the birds. She also worked on attractions for the 1964 New York World's Fair. I think basically all of these wonderful ladies worked on attractions for the World's Fair. She worked on Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln and, of course, the Carousel of Progress. And occasionally when Walt would introduce his new attractions on his show, Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color, she would often accompany him. Fortunately, she passed away a few years ago, but she was inducted as a Disney Legend in 2000 as an Imagineer. And she's honored with a window on Disneyland's Main Street, USA. It says, "The Artisan's Loft, Handmade Miniatures by Harriet Burns." Go ahead. Dan.
I was going to say, I might have missed it. Didn't she work on the model of the castle and the Matterhorn?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sure.
And also she's responsible for the Matterhorn, and she helped with the castle. And I know that I had heard stories that she would get upset that Walt was getting a little too hands-on with the models.
Yes, she
Like
did.
When he put the model on backwards and decided, hey, it looks better like that.
I thought you meant like...
She did work on the castle. I didn't know about the Matterhorn, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And then the other thing is, I know that the other Imagineers liked to tell terribly disgusting, dirty jokes in front of her to try to get her worked up and upset, but she would always roll with it and had just as much of a dirty mouth as the boys do.
I like her more. Yeah.
No.
She Harriet burned them.
Oh,
you got Harriet burned.
All right. Then the next and last woman I want to talk about, which I know this is one that a few people on this show are probably very familiar with, is Leota Toombs Thomas, who was an Imagineer, but I think she's probably most famously known as being the disembodied head that speaks to Regions Beyond in the Haunted Mansion. She is the face model for Madame Leota, which is she's also the namesake as well. She began her career with Walt.
Because her name's Leota.
There you go.
Really?
You're sharp.
You made a connection.
Can't get anything past Jeff.
She began her career with the Walt Disney Studios in 1940, working in the, of course, ink and paint department, which is where most women worked for the animation studios.
I feel like I was born too late. I love to color, and that's my dream job is be in the 50s working for Disney Studios.
In the ink and paint department.
Yes, coloring in animation cells.
She eventually did transfer to the animation department where she met her future husband, Harvey Toombs. She left the company to raise her 2 children, and I wanted to mention this because one of her children is going to come up again here in a few minutes, but she did eventually go back, and in 1962 she joined WED Enterprises and created and developed designs for, you guessed it, the 1964 New York World's Fair. She worked on It's a Small World, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, and Ford's Magic Skyway, which we kind of now know as the People Mover, a version of the People Mover. Leota also worked on Pirates of the Caribbean and Haunted Mansion. She did relocate to Walt Disney World in 1971 to start the on-site team that would maintain shows and attractions, but returned to California eventually to work at Walt Disney Imagineering, where she trained Disneyland figure finishers and artisans. And this is why I wanted to mention that she left to take care of, or to raise her kids. Her daughter is Kim Irvine, who is actually, I think she still works for the company. She joined Imagineering in 1970. She's in a lot of the television specials that you see from Disney where they have Imagineers. She's always in those. It's very well known.
Wasn't she on the Imagineering story, that Disney Plus series?
Yes.
I think I remember her talking about how she likes to go to the Haunted Mansion to hear her mom's voice.
Mm-hmm.
And she redid the mom's voice for New Lines, right? Didn't she do?
She did. She was the face. She redid the face model for the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah.
And the city of Irvine, California was named for her.
True fact. I read it in the book.
Little known.
I can't confirm nor
I
deny.
can
She's
neither
the daughter
confirm.
of Kim Jong-un.
You heard it on the internet. Now it's true.
Unfortunately, she passed away in December of 1991, and but she was inducted as a Disney legend in 2009 in the category of Imagineering. So, very.
She's a legend.
She's a legend for sure. Unfortunately,
Your face
she
is
does
on my
not.
arm.
She does not have a window on any of the main streets, which I think is just awful. So maybe we need to petition Disney to...
Let's do it. You start that up. I'll sign it.
Yeah. Change.org.
Oh.
They can put in a...
Speaking of petitions, though, when I was doing my research for this week, I also was researching a couple of Disney films and some of the voice actors that worked on them. And I found another woman that I think should be a Disney legend, but unfortunately, and somehow just is not a Disney legend, Verna Felton. She voiced the fairy godmother in Cinderella. She voiced Miss Jumbo and Dumbo, Winifred the Elephant in the Jungle Book, Queen of Hearts in Alice in Wonderland, Aunt Sarah in Lady and the Tramp, and she voiced both Flora and Queen Leah in Sleeping Beauty. And this woman is not a Disney legend, and that needs to change.
Oh my!
Did she work in ink and paint?
You know, she should have.
Probably.
There's one.
That's where
She
she
was a
messed
woman.
up. But anywho, I was just thinking about all these women we've talked about, and they're all Disney legends. And I came across Verna Felton, and I saw this work that she did. It's such iconic films too. It's not like she worked in some off movie that we've never heard of. No, Sleeping Beauty, Alice in Wonderland, Cinderella. She hasn't been made a Disney legend, so I felt that we should throw her in.
Well, they have to save some for every year.
I guess, but those are really old. Those are really old movies.
Plus, they've got a backlog of really important.
Johnny
people to
Depp was
add
made
to-
a Disney legend before her. So
I think Miley Cyrus is on the docket at this point. They could reach back a little bit farther.
Disney legend. Hannah Montana.
not Miley.
they can
Wait, Hannah Montana's getting one too?
She's on Twitter again.
That's not
They're the same
that's not
person,
the same-
Jess.
What? No.
Yeah. That's why
Oh
you
my
never
God,
see
it
them
all
in the
makes
same
sense.
place. Yeah.
Everything's
It
coming
was just a wig she was wearing.
That's amazing.
Does May have a history theme like women's history, Black history? What month is May?
April's National Poetry Month.
Oh yeah, next month's April, isn't it?
Yep.
Can we?
You're skipping a whole month there, Dan.
It's been a.
I don't know, but
May is corn dog month.
June is Pride Month, so that might be an opportunity to delve into learning about some of Disney's
Absolutely.
LGBTQIA plus employees, including Bob Gurr.
Yeah, I learned about Bob Gurr when we were at Disney. I didn't know.
Jess did not know that Bob Gurr is gay.
Oh, I did not.
I love him.
Yeah, me too.
So
Bob Gurr is my favorite. He's so cute.
there you go. We love our Disney women.
And we'll figure out what our theme for history is next month, so Zach can keep coming back. Stick around, because after the commercial break, we're using our imaginations to make everything theme park related just a little bit better with a game of Keep It, Fix It, or Burn It to the Ground. When it comes to planning your next adventure, knowledge and preparation are always key. That's why a call to your Key to the World travel vacation planner should always be at the top of your to-do list when you feel the urge to venture forth and explore the world. Key to the World Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner, specializing in travel to Disney theme parks around the world, as well as Disney Cruise Line, Aulani, and Adventures by Disney. With over 450 travel advisors who share a deep love for Disney destinations, Key to the World Travel has a wealth of knowledge and passion to help you experience all the magic with none of the work. Wherever your wanderlust is driving you, Key to the World Travel is a full-service travel agency with the expertise to get you where you want to go. So whether you're headed to Universal Studios, Hawaii, Europe, or somewhere a little farther off the beaten track, your first step should always be to visit www.keytotheworldtravel.com for a no-obligation quote. Their expert travel planners are standing by to help you with every detail of your perfect vacation. That's www.keytotheworldtravel.com or at Key to the World Travel on Facebook. Key to the World Travel, your key to a magical vacation. Welcome back to another round of Keep It, Fix It, or Burn It to the Ground, the game where we forever change the face of themed entertainment when I force you to make some tough and totally unnecessary decisions. Here's how it's going to work. I am going to provide you with 3 options that are at least somewhat loosely connected. You have to pick which one you'll leave as is, which could use a little fixing up, and which one we need to just burn completely to the ground. Feel free to chime in to tell your fellow adventurers how totally misguided they are. Let's get started. Should we just make this a big discussion and we can come up with our conclusion for each one once everybody's done arguing?
Yeah.
Or should I, or do you guys want me to give you
Whatever works for you, Dan.
one to cover?
I like the open forum style.
Yeah, I like the open forum style too. We can argue more. So, first up is Imagineering tricks. Pepper's Ghost, Force Perspective, and Go Away Green.
Wait,
Any thoughts?
force perspective you got to keep for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
It's all of the park.
Yeah.
It just
Go
doesn't
away,
work.
go away green is my least favorite of those.
But what's the alternative to Go Away Green? It's something that certainly probably catches your eye more. So I feel like
Get out of here,
disappears
Gray.
sky.
Right, because I was just doing a Google Earth walkthrough of the Magic Kingdom the other night because I'm that kind of nerd.
Me too.
and if you spin all the buildings around and look at sightlines and stuff, like there's going to be some pretty ugly intrusions in some places if you get rid of that.
Yeah,
green
I suppose
paint.
that's cool. But Pepper's Ghost is a classic.
Yeah, that would ruin a lot of Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, the Haunted
And-
Mansion would suck.
The opening of Tower of Terror, which is really not.
Yeah, it would just be an overhead look at an empty ballroom. Or a dining hall.
Winnie the Pooh wouldn't be able to go into his Heffalumps and Woozle streams.
Well, what are the options
right.
again? Like we're burning something and we're keep
it, fix it, and burn it to the ground.
So maybe we could fix Go Away Green.
Yeah.
Maybe we could make it better. You know.
Yeah.
I was thinking,
Go back and actually theme those walls that they didn't.
yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
It's Imagineering. Can't they just make invisible paint at this point that just turns it invisible?
Right now
Or
they have
use,
Go Away Blue. The whole Guardians ride building at Epcot is they
Sky blue.
just painted it blue.
Yeah.
That totally blends in, right?
Yeah, totally.
I mean,
I'm
you
nice.
certainly can't see it past those giant barges now. So it's
Fair.
Go away barge. That's it. That's how we'll fix it. We'll just park an ugly ass barge in front of every.
people aren't talking
show
about the
building.
Guardians building anymore now, are they?
No, they
I
are
will
not.
say The building, you can definitely tell it's there, but the blue is very close. I'll give them that.
Yeah, it's close.
Just sunny day sky.
Yeah, they did a great job. Let's just change the green to like look away lavender or something.
Yes.
Something pleasing to look at least, right?
Look
I
away
think that's-
lavender.
I guess
Check out
so.
this mauve.
So we want to keep Pepper's Ghost, correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a classic, and it's been working since what? When
And
was
so
it
we
launched?
want-
In the
If you
50s.
fix Go Away Gray, that means you have to get rid of forced perspective, which means
It doesn't work.
the buildings no longer look tallish.
Let's just make all the buildings
does work.
regular size.
Have you
It
seen?
works.
Have you
It
seen
doesn't work as much as they want you to believe it works, but it works.
Because that Beast Castle and Be Our Guest restaurant, I look up at that
That's
every
a
time, and I'm
dollhouse
like,
on top of a
"That's
rock."
a dollhouse."
Yeah.
I was
that
waiting
way
for
it doesn't
that.
work.
Cinderella
there.
Castle.
Yeah.
When
But
you
like
look
when
up-
you're in the American experience and that window up top is tiny and it looks so much more tall than it really is. All the taller, the tiny little windows in Cinderella's castle make it look way up high till you see that monster fairy climb out of there before she goes on the wire.
Hey, Zach
I
is my
realized
friend.
recently that
Don't
they
talk
use
about him that way.
I realized recently they even use it in Muppets 3D when we were sitting in the theater looking up. Like you can tell that the box windows get smaller as they go up. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
they use it so much. It would
So much.
It would ruin
Dan,
a
I
lot,
think we
but-
need all three of those things. This
Yeah.
this question
game is
needs
flawed.
to be burned to the
No,
ground.
that's why this game is fun, because you have to argue and make a bad
I'm
Could
going
you-
to burn Go Away Green.
Let's
to
just
the
get
ground.
rid of Go Away
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah.
Let's improve forced perspective
Yes.
and
So what, you want to make the Beast Castle larger?
yes,
Yes.
it doesn't have
Or
to be
smaller.
full
We'll make
size,
everything
look farther
actually
away.
to scale.
Yeah,
Well,
that's my idea.
or
They
just
got the
or-
space.
I mean, have you seen the entrance to Beast Castle in Tokyo Disneyland?
I have not.
It's what our Be Our Guest restaurant should have looked like. Instead, we're just walking into a bunch of rocks.
Mm-hmm. It actually
is
looks
it?
like you're walking into a castle.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
So that's where I see things could be improved.
Someday when the world opens up, I'm going to go see it for myself.
Well, up next, we're going to have to talk about crappy themed dining experiences.
Oh boy.
Flo's
Your
V
options.
Cafe, burn it.
Your options here are Chef Mickey's Rainforest Cafe and T-Rex Cafe.
Oh, my God.
man, we have to
Well, I said
keep one
Chef
of those.
Mickey's fix.
Okay, yeah.
Uh-huh. That means
Because
you're keeping
the
either
lo-
Rainforest or T-Rex as they are.
I would
You could keep both of those because I'm never going to go to them.
Yeah, I
so
was
it's
never
Yeah.
going to go there anyway.
keep T-Rex burned down Rainforest Cafe.
Yeah, that could be another really good Animal Kingdom restaurant.
To me, Chef Mickey's, it's a great location. Everyone loves characters. If they would make it look less like 1991
Yes.
Yeah.
in there and
serve
raise the
better
ceiling or so, like it's weird in there.
Which
Huh?
Rainforest Cafe are we talking about? The one at
The
Disney
one at-
Springs or the one at Animal Kingdom?
They're the
Mm.
same restaurant.
I mean, yeah, does it make a difference?
Yeah,
Burn
because
them
we can
both
keep the
to
one
the
at
ground.
Animal Kingdom because you can't see it.
That's true. It is.
But they could put another restaurant in there that's actually like good.
Yeah, and T-Rex
Like,
Cafe
Flo's.
is at least a little bit more unique. I don't know.
Yeah,
has a
I
cooler
would
looking
improve
outside.
Chef
Yeah.
Mickey's because I want to see Chef Mickey's be a great restaurant.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
really could be.
But I
It-
think
it
it
has
would,
potential.
absolutely.
But actually, here it's better now that it's family style and the food's
Yeah.
not as gross.
Yeah, they've just been trying to refurb it for so many years, but it's so popular that they haven't done it. For a while, weren't they planning on moving it into one of the ballrooms in the
Yeah.
Contemporary Conference Center? Yeah.
If only there was a time like, I don't know, a year
A year
that
ago.
they could have been remodeling
Yeah.
it currently while
mean,
they
when we were
opened some
there-
other restaurant.
When we were staying there a couple weeks ago, yeah, there were hardly anybody there, and I
It
looked into
did
Chef
look-
Mickey's one
yeah.
morning, and I was like, "You guys should just use
Yeah.
this time." I don't know.
Fix
Yep.
it. Because it looks like 1993 in there, and not in a good
Yeah.
way.
Honestly, though, Heather gave the solution for how they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So put a temporary one in.
Yep.
Open it and keep running it while they're
Yeah.
doing the main.
I don't know the complaints they'd get for a temporary Chef Mickey's where you're not looking at the monorail going by while you're eating. That's a big part of the
Well,
seller
who
for that.
It's like you're in a
cares?
business
Then
meeting.
don't
It's a
do
big.
it
I don't
while
think
they're
it's very
fixing it.
cool,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of people that eat there because it's a character experience with the monorail.
That's true.
It should have been closed the last year.
But I've
Yeah.
seen the cool stuff that Disney meetings can do with just a blank ballroom space, they could make it look spectacular in there for a few months while they refurb
They could
that
just
space.
take one of the broken monorail trains and put it in there.
Great idea.
Just eat inside it. And it smells like pee.
They all
And
smell
it
like
works,
a petting
but
zoo.
see, it works perfectly because when you ride the monorail now, it's like it's so sectioned off. It's like you're in an office space, and they're gonna put the monorail inside a business meeting room. So
There
we're
you
just
go. It's perfect.
Run down to the gift shop, get one of the plastic battery operated monorails that you put around your Christmas tree.
Yes.
Problem solved.
just
Yeah,
buy a
and
lot
then
of
just-
track and just have to go
Yeah.
all the way around the room.
Yes.
Or they could rig it up so that a little monorail brings your plate to your table.
I like it, Dan.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
I
perfect.
have one of those. I think I'm going to rig that up. It's a great idea.
Do it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Never
and
have to go to the
Rainforest
kitchen again.
Cafe is the food is overpriced and not that great.
I've never
And
been.
It just
And I-
burn it down.
I'm not a
T-Rex
fan of
the
really
one-
badly done animatronics, and those are just, we move two ways over and over again. And you can hear
T-Rex
them
Cafe
move.
is owned by the same company that owns Rainforest Cafe, but somehow it's just a little bit. I think the theme is a little better. I guess that one I would
Also, there's rainforest
Yeah.
cafes all over the country. but
all over the world. Yeah,
I think there's only the one T-Rex cafe, and there's
Yes.
there's a Build-A-Dino inside.
That's the reason I went in there. We were going to eat there, and we had a long wait, even though we had a reservation. So my son got a Build-A-Bear dino done in there, and I was like, well, screw this. Let's not wait. And
Let's
That
go.
was really what we went there for.
Jess wouldn't let me go in and build a dino.
Chess is the worst.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's funny that someone had to let a grown man do something.
Well, I kept trying to go in and he wouldn't let me. He said, we've got other things to do. We got to go try and get those cookies.
I have to get another drink.
Well, anyways, here's one that's a difficult choice for the other reason because they're all not so awful. World's Fair Originals, Small World,
Mm.
Carousel of Progress, and Mr. Lincoln.
Ugh.
Oh, you can
the-
burn
the-
Mr. Lincoln.
Oh.
No wonder Zach wanted to cover Confederate History Month.
We've got the Mr. Lincoln animatronic in the Hall of Presidents. That's fine.
That's true. That's a good
Wow.
point,
The-
Zach.
Yeah,
But
but
he
you know
was
what
like-
Mr. Lincoln doesn't have?
Thank you, Robert E.
Doesn't
Lee.
have a 45.
Mm-hmm.
Do what?
It doesn't have Mr. Donald Trump in.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
that's fair.
that's true.
hmm Can we burn the Hall of Presidents down? Was that one of the choices?
No,
No.
sorry.
Can we
darn.
substitute?
Yeah.
Now,
I've never seen great moments with Mr. Lincoln.
I have only seen it once.
I want to
Yeah,
improve. Was Carousel Progress an option?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
I want to
That's what I was
improve
gonna say.
Carousel Progress. To me, it's easy. I think we should keep Small World, improve Carousel Progress, and burn Mr. Lincoln.
I'd be
yes.
fine with that.
Yeah.
Although,
all you have to do is just change the ending scene for Carousel of Progress to more modern or go
Mhm.
into the future,
Mhm.
Yeah,
actually.
that was the future at one point, I guess.
I would like it if Walt Disney World's Small World attraction had the character dolls
Yeah.
that Disneyland's version does.
They
I
did
love
it.
those.
They
And
did
the
it
cool
very
Christmas
tastefully.
layover.
Mhm. And I
Yeah.
know that was a big controversy when they added those, but they did it, and it's perfect. They fit right in.
It's
The
not
style is
jarring at
perfect.
all.
Exactly. I love that.
No, they really. But if they could get that Christmas overlay,
Yeah.
that Christmas overlay is.
We
Amazing.
sadly don't have the facade that Disneyland does because the
Right.
lights
No.
on the outside are
Sure.
like 90% of what makes that awesome to me.
Mhm.
That's
so.
true.
Mhm. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've said it before too. I wish I agree for fixing up Carousel of Progress. I'd love to see it restored, the ending where you went upstairs and saw the whole Progress City
Oh yeah.
model.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
good
that
point.
was a thing?
Yeah, there's like a whole
Mhm.
display, miniature display.
Not
Oh.
the, I mean, at the World's Fair, it wasn't
Yeah.
the Epcot Progress
Oh, gotcha.
City.
And I think
model,
at
but it was
Disneyland,
a similar
too.
thing.
Was it?
And I'm
Right,
sure
yes,
that miniature exists somewhere.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true.
Being overtaken by spiders.
hmm
Yeah.
Spiders.
The spiders are living in the future, folks.
So that one was easy. I liked that one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a good one.
All right. Here's one that's going to be tough too because they're all such beloved attractions. Racing themed ride, guys. Racing themed rides. The Jimmy Fallon ride at Universal, Lightning McQueen's Racing Academy, and the Tomorrowland Speedway.
Lightning
let's say the
McQueen,
Disneyland
burn it
version
to
of
the
it.
ground.
Yes.
No, I'm not wasting fire when I
fix
can
up.
put it on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Fix
Well,
this.
you were never going to go to Jimmy Fallon
Yeah.
anyway.
I wrote it. I've written
Yeah,
that
but you were
ride.
forced to write it.
Yeah, but you can't use that logic for this game because otherwise there's no stakes.
Mm.
Fix
I
the
would
Speedway.
fix Speedway.
Fix the Tomorrowland Speedway.
Yeah, electric
really-
cars.
With electric cars, take
And
out
Wreck-It
those.
Ralph.
Yeah, yes.
and real
Sugar
speed
Rush.
and danger and stakes and
And crashes.
children dying.
Oh, okay. Now we've gone a little far.
Yes, I like that. We're
I
going to
guess-
kill the children.
They can keep Jimmy Fallon. It's Universal. so
I feel
I don't mind
nothing
him
about
or that ride.
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
like the puppies.
Yes.
I just don't like Jimmy Fallon, and that was the most uncomfortable ride seat I have ever
It is a bad ride
been
seat.
stuck
Yeah.
in.
You don't
for-
like the
It
baseball
is.
bleacher seats?
is.
Or the,
It's,
It's
it's
like
like
baseball
angled
stadium
back,
seats?
so
Yeah,
it's,
and it's like you're riding a simulator in your school auditorium
Yes.
from when you were in elementary school.
Yeah.
Lightning McQueen, burn it to the ground and put back that villain's party
Villains.
space.
Oh yeah, the villains party. I never got to do
I
that.
never got
Or
to do
some
no,
actual
but-
cool attraction.
Something better than that dumb.
but don't make
animatronic.
it just a party. Make it just a heavily themed
Restaurant.
bar,
Ooh,
like
yes.
Trader Sam's
Yeah.
or
A villain bar.
With like the theme could be like
Italian
T-Rex, and then there could be like animatronic dinos that move around.
Oh, wait.
or make that
Are
like
we on a different question?
It's so close to Hollywood Tower of Terror. Lean into that and make it like a ballroom and have like a bar.
Oh
in
yeah.
there. That's
You
Yeah.
could
after the
exit
Tower of Terror.
and go right through the hotel lobby lounge or something.
There were
Yes.
rumors a couple years ago that they were going to try to put a lounge in the bottom of Tower of
Apparently
Terror.
there is space like on the other side of the wall of the gift shop that it looks like
Yeah.
a little entrance now where they have like the photo pickup thing,
Yep.
and that whole area is just apparently empty and could have made a nice
Yeah, I
little
remember
lounge.
that there was going to be a
And let's be honest, not many
Yes.
people are buying Tower of Terror merchandise, so let's just turn that into a
No.
bar.
Raise it
My
and
wife
make it a
came home with
bar.
the Tower
I'll
of
drink
Terror
in
shirt.
there.
Yeah. Oh,
drink
a Twilight
anywhere.
Zone themed bar. That would
Yeah.
just
Better
put
yet,
lots
what
of
if they
references.
made one of the ride vehicles a bar?
Who says I haven't?
There'd be drink all over the ceiling.
It's me in a mini bottle. Oh no. I've never done that, by the way, Disney. Please don't revoke any access.
They're looking back through the ride photos to find you, Jess.
Me in a beer bong.
Wearing a helmet.
But he had his
how
mask
about-
on.
Right. That's right. I just put the tube under the mask.
There you go. Inspired by a discussion earlier, Future World attractions, Soarin' Test Track, and Mission Space.
Oh, burn
Burn
mission,
mission
space.
space.
Burn mission space to the ground.
Improve.
Really?
I say fix Soren. Just fix it.
Fix it. Make it go back to soaring
I
over
Test
California.
track before that.
Yeah.
Before they made it, looks kind of cool as Tron, but it does. I don't know. It
It's
just
fine.
didn't work for me as well as the test track dummy thing. I like that a lot.
I
better.
did like that better. You're right.
And the whole part where you used to bust through, it was like you were going to hit the wall and then you
Yeah.
bust through to the outside.
See,
I
no,
like
fix
that
Test Track and turn it into Radiator Springs Racers because
Oh.
that ride
Mhm.
is a
That's
lot
fair.
of fun. And I'm not a Cars fan, and I love Radiator Springs and that ride, everything but
So
flows.
good.
That's fair.
But yeah, and then I guess you could just burn Mission Space because nobody likes that ride. Does anybody still ride that ride?
Not
guess
me.
people
I haven't
don't
gone
know
on it in a
about
while,
it.
but I actually liked it when I went on
Speaking
it.
of last attractions you ever go on, that's the one attraction I actually thought I was dying on.
Oh, no.
I've been on it one time.
Did you
I
have a
thought I was
panic
going to
attack?
die. And I
You go on the orange side, I guess.
whichever one my friends wanted me to go on. It's when I was a cast member.
It
I
combines
rode it
my-
and never again.
Combines my worst things, spinning and claustrophobia.
Yeah.
It's not.
That's a fun
it's
time for
not
everybody.
claustrophobic folks. Yeah.
That's just good, clean fun.
The
Yeah.
one ride at Disney World equipped with barf bags. That's your first clue that.
Well,
now
so
they
is
have
Flo's
one that.
V8.
Yeah. Now they have one that doesn't even spin. It just
Yeah, that's the green side now.
Just
Like
clock
when
the
I wrote
phobia.
it, they didn't have a choice, and I didn't know what the technology was or anything like that. And I was like, "This does not feel right, and I don't like it."
My
And
body's
Gary
not
Sinise is
supposed to do
weird.
this.
Yeah, and Gary Sinise is obviously wearing a wig, so this is just very strange.
I don't know. I like spinny rides, so I was going
I
to
do
say
too.
keep that one, and I was torn between which of the other two to burn.
What are
I
your thoughts,
hate-
Dan?
I hate the new Soarin' so much, and I also hate Test Track so much.
Yeah,
So-
but I feel like Soarin' it was so good before. If they just could have given us the digital California
Yeah.
version,
Mhm.
because the score is just fantastic, and the erector set. I don't know.
And the smells.
And the
I never
smells.
thought the ride was worth a crap, honestly.
I don't know. I always enjoyed it.
It felt good because it's air conditioned and my feet were hanging off the ground, so that it felt good. But
As someone
like,
who did
cool, a golf course.
thrill rides as a kid, or as a teenager, someone who didn't like thrill rides but always wanted to do kind of test the waters, Soarin' was always a good option for me.
That is true.
See,
I like the
I'm one of those
mechanics
people
of
where
it.
my brain buys like motion trickery like that. When you've got a big screen in front of you, I always feel like I'm actually flying, and every time that plane comes up, I'm like, ah!
Yeah, I liked the other one, but even it was like, here's somebody climbing a mountain, here's a golf course. Like, I don't know. That was lame too. It's still better than the garbage that's there now. It's all digital.
Well, yeah, at least you don't have banana-shaped Eiffel Towers and
Yeah.
Yes.
and fake
And
elephants and fake Taj Mahal.
dirt smell. Who
Yeah.
thought that was a good idea?
Yeah.
Dirt.
Yeah, they couldn't even go all the way and make it smell like elephant crap.
Right?
What's the deal with that?
Yeah, and the Taj Mahal was completely fake too, right? Because they
Yes,
didn't- they
100%
couldn't- yeah.
CGI.
Most
They
of it, I
couldn't
think all
shut
the
it
elephants
down.
are fake.
Why
but-
not choose something else if you can't get the rights to film there? Go film
Yeah,
something
Yeah,
else.
there's so many places in the world that they could have.
It should be
Yeah.
soaring over some planet. They could make it a Marvel thing or something.
Angkor Wat with all those monkeys.
Soaring over Wakanda.
Mm.
Ooh, maybe they
Oh,
can make
fair.
it soaring over Pandora.
Ah.
Yeah, and then make Pandora Wakanda.
And call it Flight of the Navigator? I don't know. I'm working on it. So I don't know.
No, make it Flight of the Navigator ride.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm back
And
on
it'll make
board.
you feel like
Okay.
you can fly.
And
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So we'll fix Soarin' then.
Perfect.
Problem solved.
No
Test
more
track.
banana Eiffel Tower.
we're keeping Test Track, we're getting rid of Mission Space, and we're fixing Soarin'.
Yes.
Look at us getting things done.
Sold.
Take that, Chapek.
Park is going to be great.
Seriously. Somebody needs to hire us for their executive board. Okay, All-Star Hotels, All-Star Sports,
Ooh.
All-Star Movies, and All-Star Music. Which one you keep, which
Fun
one you fix,
fact,
and which
I
you
haven't
burn?
been to any of them, so
Yeah,
neither
Sit
have I.
down.
All sports.
And allow me here.
Yeah, so-
I used to work at all three of these, so
okay,
Oh,
Zach.
here we go.
Tell us.
we can keep All-Star Movies. Let's get rid of All-Star Sports, and let's fix All-Star Music.
Yes, and make
I
it
like
Hannah
that.
Montana themed.
I want to get
Yes.
rid of All-Star Sports for all of the poor families that aren't aware of what time of year it is when they go and stay there, and then are bombarded by cheerleading groups who decide to set up in the grass right in front of their rooms while their kids trying to take a nap.
You know,
stuff.
actually, no, I take that back. Let's keep All-Star Movies. Let's fix All-Star Sports and get rid of All-Star. Let's keep All-Star Sports or fix it.
By
Because
theming it to
it's-
something better.
Yes, theme it to something better. Also, it's the first resort on the bus loop,
Oh,
so
I see.
that's always nice. At the end of the day, you don't have to wait to. Now, granted, you do have to wait 2 more bus stops on your way going out,
Let's
but
just make all 3 of them where all of the youth groups have to stay and no one else stays there.
And no one else gets to
What
stay
if
there.
you combined all 3 of them and made it in like an ode to Disney animation, like the art of it?
That would be nice.
Wait.
That would be
Doesn't
pretty
that-
cool. Or
doesn't
they could
that
do one
already
that's
exist?
they could do one that's like the different decades because cool stuff's happened throughout the years, that kind of.
No, wait, I like where
also
you're going with
All-Star
this.
Sports. The acronym is ASS.
This
Yeah,
is
That's true.
Also, that
And
was
you know,
my
guys,
favorite.
they can't get rid of All-Star Sports. They have been waiting for 30 years for the Mighty Ducks section to be relevant again. And they
We're
finally
almost
just
there.
released that show. Come on, like
Yeah.
they're finally like, oh, kids aren't going to be asking what the hell this is now.
To be fair, isn't that one in the All-Star movies, though?
I thought it was in sports.
The Mighty Ducks?
It's the hockey section.
Well, it should be in sports. Yeah, because
I
it's
think
hockey.
I think it's in movies.
I think it's
though.
in movies.
Yeah,
Huh.
maybe.
All-Star
I don't know where
Sports
it
was
is.
my
I've
favorite
never
one to work
stayed at
at.
any of them.
I've never
so
set foot in any of them.
don't
I've
have a
stayed
clue.
at all three.
I've seen photos.
Jeff and Jess just gave me a brilliant idea, though. Combine all three of them, and instead of theming them to things that already exist, Goofy's got those like old specials that like how
Yes.
to.
The
You could
how-to
theme them to
series.
the old
Yes.
how-to series.
How to install your home theater system.
Right, yeah. I mean, you could do the how-to, sports is already there,
Mhm.
light retheming there. And then the other two, he had the one where he drives and he gets all road ragey. That one's awesome.
I love
Yeah.
those. I love those old
So-
goofy cartoons.
I love the goof.
I think we should just take all three of them and just make them Mickey-themed resorts and just theme them after the different Mickey shorts.
What if you took those resorts and made those Chef Mickey?
It's just one giant Chef Mickey.
It'd make it a lot easier to get a reservation. Well, I have one more category for y'all, and that is upcharge events. We got Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, and Halloween Horror Nights.
Burn
That's gonna
be
Halloween
too
Horror
easy for what
Nights.
you-
No,
Oh
keep that.
no,
Fix
It
it.
is perfection.
Zach!
Fix it. It's way too busy every time I've been. Like,
I will-
figure something out, but
I will never experience it, so to me, it's a burn.
Yeah.
I want to fix Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. I think it's great, but I think it could be improved on. They need to go back to the old fireworks show, but let's keep the Very Merry Christmas Party because that's one of the most magical things I've ever experienced
That's
in my
the one
life.
I would burn.
That one sucks.
Yeah, because you can get the same thing for free at Disneyland. So
Yeah.
Or this
Well,
year's
that
Disney
Christmas
World.
Screw you,
Nonsense.
Dan. I like my magical Merry Christmas Party.
you just said that
The
the
whole
new
Magic Kingdom is-
Halloween
Yeah.
fireworks were not good.
Yeah.
No, I was talking about the
He was talking about Halloween.
Halloween.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I thought the new Halloween fireworks were the greatest thing ever.
The
No,
whole
they were
Magic
awful.
the whole Magic Kingdom is a magical Christmas experience during the
You
holidays.
don't need
you
an
don't need that
upcharge.
party.
You're paying
Yeah.
extra for crappy hot chocolate.
And they
cookie.
run
And
that
characters.
parade during Christmas week. They run that parade, so you don't have to pay extra for it.
Mhm.
Well,
And the
let's
hot chocolate and the cookies are gross.
Well,
yeah,
let's
they're
burn
no
it.
good.
Okay, here we go. How about we keep the Halloween party? We get rid of the Christmas party with the caveat that they make a lot of the Christmas party offerings that don't already exist, like the snow on Main Street. That was a magical moment for me.
They do that at
Okay.
Hollywood Studios now
Yes,
and
they
Disney
do.
Springs.
Yeah, but who cares
Just go
about those two?
And at Disneyland.
And we can
It's
improve. We can
Kitty
fix
has
the, we can
claws.
fix the Halloween Horror Nights to put in things that I can actually do that aren't
Such
super
as-
Sit on a
scary.
bench.
Bouncy house or
Yeah,
Spookily the
bouncy
Square
house.
Pumpkin and Raggedy and Andy and Andy's
Baking
Halloween
seminars.
special.
So that's my list. I'm sticking
I
to
agree.
it.
Yeah, I agree with that list.
I want them to expand Halloween Horror Nights to both parks so that it's
Yes.
not so crammed into one
I
park.
want them to find a way to allow me to get to Diagon Alley without having to walk through scare zones.
Mm.
If they
Alright.
did that,
There's
then I'd
areas
be
you can
fine.
get through. And you
Or
just
if you get
find
there-
a woman and walk behind her because they go for women
Yes.
every single time.
They sure
just
do.
follow Heather.
Can
Yeah.
confirm.
Yeah.
Or just get there early enough and those scare actors aren't nearly as scary in the daylight
That's
hours.
true.
Yeah,
You're
for
just
sure.
stuck back in there and you're like,
doesn't
sir, it's
even
time to
matter
leave. And you're
for
like,
me,
I'm not
though.
leaving until the ghouls are gone.
Somehow
like-
I still get scared by them in the broad daylight.
Yeah,
Some-
but
I
I,
think it's
mean,
the
like the killer
chainsaw.
clowns from outer space are not nearly as intimidating as scary when the
That's
sun's up.
true.
Something comes up and scares me. I'm not responsible for what I might do with my bag.
Or in his pants.
Whack it in the face.
Get away from my purse. I don't know you.
I don't know.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
Oh my god!
Okay, now I want to go to
vocal
Halloween Horror Nights with you,
Yes.
Zach.
Yeah, we're making you go during KeyCon at this point.
Yes, please.
Just not this year.
Just so you could do your Bobby Hill.
Oh, yeah, this year.
Yes.
This year's in November. It'll be magical
Oh, yeah, you're
Christmas
right.
time. But we will be in Walt Disney World for the 50th anniversary in October.
That's when it
And
is.
that is Halloween Horror Nights time. Yes. Good point. It's
Bring
happening.
a nice heavy purse.
Someone bring a GoPro just and have it on Zach the whole time.
I don't know. Which ride was it that I terrified? Oh, the Mummy. If his reaction to the Mummy is any indicator.
I did not like the Mummy.
I don't like Brendan Fraser either.
Yeah, no, it was more like the 12 mummies popping out of the tomb with the fire going off. They're really
So good.
Yeah,
You didn't
Yeah,
care for
it's
that,
not.
Zach?
no.
Because you
I
whacked
don't care
Ian
for
in the
that.
face
I
with
don't
your
care
purse.
for Kong. I really didn't like
I
Kong.
like that one.
I like Kong.
Yeah.
The ride itself's not bad. It's the queue that's really bad. And they've got those people popping out.
yes.
That was one of my favorite
You
things
were-
ever, was going through the queue with you, though.
You
That
were
was,
way back behind me, and I heard you shriek, and I was like, Zach's in line. I literally knew that was you. That was so good.
I didn't have my bag then. I had my Harry Potter wand. I'm ready to poke someone in the eye.
know you. Don't touch my wand.
Touch my wand.
Wingardium Leviosa.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us again this week. If you're excited to find all the hidden details that make theme parks such amazing places, or explore anywhere else around the world, Key to the World Travel has a secret hidden warehouse show building painted a peculiar shade of light green, full of expert travel planners ready to make your vacation dreams a reality. Head to www.keytotheworldtravel.com to get started with a no obligation quote. Don't forget to catch up with our friend, the Theme Park Professor, for all the latest theme park news and tips at www.themeparkprofessor.com. Word of mouth is always the best way to help us grow our show. If you have a friend or two who you think would appreciate our special brand of globetrotting jackassery, tell them what makes our show so great and send them our way. You can find links to subscribe to the show on your favorite apps and all the latest news at www.goldkeyadventures.com. Can't wait to hang out with you again next week. See you real soon.
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Have a magical day.
I know what you think I'm going to say, but I think we should keep flows so that we can fix it with fire.
To ask a question or share your travel story, you can reach us by smoke signal, carrier pigeon, or send an email to goldkeyadventurers@gmail.com. And make sure you follow the Gold Key Adventure Society on Facebook and Instagram. A huge thanks to our sponsor, Key to the World Travel. For all your travel planning needs, visit www.keytotheworldtravel.com for a free quote and help planning the trip of a lifetime. Tell them the Gold Key Adventurers sent you. That's www.keytotheworldtravel.com. Key to the World Travel, your key to a magical vacation. Thanks to Outer Vibe for the use of their song Hoka Hey for the intro and outro of our show. Find them on Facebook at The Outer Vibe or check out www.outervibe.com for tour dates, music, merch, and more. We'll see you next week for another meeting of the Gold Key Adventure Society. And until then, remember, life is short and the world is wide. So go have an adventure.